Hi, thank you very much for taking your time out today to speak to me about Mickey, the Story of the Mouse, which is coming out on Disney Plus on the 18th of November. So, going to first off start with you, Jeff. Where did the idea of the documentary come from?
Well, it came from deep inside the Magic Kingdom, from what I understand. And they approached me, and Mickey was honestly always one of those things that I was just completely fascinated by. It's this symbol that we all share, and it's like simultaneously this little small guy, and yet he has all this power. So, it was as it was kind of pitched at me as something to possibly do, it was an instant like, yes, I would love to do this.
That's cool. And I'm going to follow on from there. Sort of, what was kind of the highlight for you working on this documentary?
Well, I don't know how your screen is, but that guy, he was Floyd Norman. That was one of the really great things, was meeting these animators who, I just geek out entirely on process. And, animation is something I always appreciated, but I never really understood at all. And so to get to speak to people like Floyd and Eric Goldberg and all these people who knew Walt, who had been there, who'd worked on these classic films that I'd grown up with, was really one of the joys of the production for me.
That's cool. And Floyd, now you've worked on some of an amazing amount of movies and film and shows and stuff. But I kind of want to just lean that back to Mickey Mouse of like, how did Mickey Mouse inspire your career?
Well, Mickey's been around for as long as I can remember. I remember reading Mickey Mouse comics as a child. And I remember going to the movie theater with my parents and seeing that big splash screen of Mickey on the screen. And you knew you were in store for a Mickey Mouse cartoon. So Mickey has been part of my earliest childhood memories. And I knew that one day, with any luck, one day I would be working at the Walt Disney Studio. And once there, I had the opportunity to, in a sense, get to know the mouse, firsthand, having the opportunity to work with Walt Disney, who just happens to be Mickey Mouse. If you met Walt Disney, you've met Mickey Mouse. So for me, Mickey Mouse was always very real. And he continues to be real for many, many people, not just myself. I don't, own Mickey Mouse exclusively. He's for all of us. And no matter who we are, no matter what we are, Mickey's one of us. He's our best pal. He's our buddy. He's our colleague. And Mickey he's part of the family.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, the whole thing of, especially when you're at like the parks or the cruises and you see Mickey and you get a photograph and stuff. Even, I love it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Jeff, I got to say, one of the things I liked about the documentary was it didn't shy away too much from some of the negativity stuff that's happened over the years. How important was that for you to include that in this documentary?
I think it was vital. It's I agree that Mickey is as close to joy as we're ever going to get in a symbol. I think that the world's a little less happy if we don't, I don't know you, but we both know Mickey. So that's what we're talking about. Like, I could see somebody on the street. I do see people on the street and we both smile about it. It's like, it's a small thing, but we all have it and we've all had it for 100 years. So that is the primary mission of this film, is to sort of get underneath that. And as with anything, when you get underneath something, there is good and there is bad, So I think as much as any film that I've worked on, it was really a function of, okay, if you're going to do this, we're going to do it in the following way. And we're going to talk about these things. And mostly that was just working from the inside out, making sure that in a Disney production that we were going to talk about some things that hadn't been talked about before, but sort of everybody knew, And so to get them on the record about some of this, I think pushes the conversation in the right direction. And that's as much as I could hope to do in a Mickey Mouse documentary, is just, I can't lead that conversation, but I can push it towards happening.
Well, that's great. And I also like the way as well, this sort of the film acknowledged the fact that it had become in some ways so much of an icon, but they wouldn't do it, like Disney didn't really want to do anything with it, and kind of rejuvenated him for a brand new generation. And that kind of leads over to the question for you, Floyd. Would you have liked to have worked on like the new Mickey Mouse shorts that they're bringing out right now?
Uh, Kind of funny you should mention that, because my wife and I often We start our day watching the Mickey Mouse shorts. I don't know why exactly, but my wife finds it. She finds them enjoyable, and we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee and watch at least 2 or 3 Mickey Mouse short cartoons.
That's cool.
Even though I enjoy watching, if I had my druthers, what I would love to do if I had the opportunity would be to make a Mickey Mouse feature film. I think that would be just grand. And you have a star who the world knows. You don't have to worry about, hey, who's this Mickey Mouse? Everybody knows Mickey Mouse. If we made a feature film, I guarantee blockbuster, because everybody knows and loves Mickey Mouse.
Oh, 100%. So Jeff, can say, what was the biggest challenge working on this documentary?
Well, I mean, he's been around so long that it's just to sort of both fit it all in, but that's sort of like the easy way to think about it. To me, the hard way to think about it was, how do you see him new? How do you see, because he is sort of everywhere at all times. He's our waffles, he's our, this, or he's our that. And so how do you see it in a new way? So that's where talking to people like Floyd really helps, because he can see it. He can provide some fresh air there. I thought Floyd was particularly good at one thing that is sticking in my mind at the moment that I really enjoyed talking and understanding from Floyd was why there was this simultaneous period where after Walt died, Mickey sort of kind of vanishes from corporate Disney, and why he's sort of lifting up in kind of the counterculture and what that means, So I think it was just trying to like kind of take this something that we all knew, honor it, but also provide enough of a twist. I'm thinking of the Mickey collector that we see in the film. I feel like I've seen the same Mickey collectors showing us the same plush toys in a lot of documentaries, and I just didn't want to go there. I wanted to see something new in it. So
yeah, and yeah, I've not got enough Mickey Mouse plush toys myself.
100%, but it's like, it's like that part's covered. It's also interesting too, because you're not doing a subject that no one knows about. You're doing a subject that everyone knows about, and that 500 pounds of books have been written about. So it's like, trying to find that new aspect was always interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Floyd, Disney Plus obviously is available around the world, and so many of your films and shows and stuff are available. How does it make you feel knowing that like everyone's just got full access to these now, at the touch of their fingers?
We could not have imagined this back in the 1950s when I came to Disney. The big deal back in the 50s was Disney had just made the surprising move to television. And at that time, that was considered a big deal. Like, oh my goodness, people are going to be able to enjoy this Disney content all over the country. We could not have imagined something like Disney Plus. So it's somewhat mind-blowing. It's somewhat incredible to know that the work we've done will never die, that somewhere in the world, someone's going to be consuming Disney content. And that's the world we live in today, and that's going to go on and on. So
yeah,
amazing.
Well, thank you so much, especially Floyd, for all the work that you've done over these years. There's just so many greats and some of my favorites that I've grown up with. And thank you, Jeff, for this fantastic documentary, which drops onto Disney Plus this coming Friday. Thank you so much, guys.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.